Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me, whichever part of the country or the world you are joining us from, because we have people all over the world. I so appreciate you joining me. You know, the first thing I need you to do is hit that share button. And here's why. Friends help friends succeed. You know somebody that's going to benefit from this information that I'm sharing with you right now. So we want to make sure and share that with them. Be a friend that help your friends succeed. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about the words that we use and put some attention to the words that we use and, more importantly, the order in which we use them. You see, there's something that happens in our brain all the time, and our brain is always asking the question, compared to what? You know, when I was in high school, we did an experiment, and that experiment had 3 buckets in front of us. So the first bucket was ice cold. I mean, it had cold water into it, you know, almost freezing, almost unbearable. The other bucket up to the far right was the same, except it was hot. It was unbearable. It didn't burn you when you put your hands in, but it was uncomfortable because it was so warm. And in the middle was a bucket that was room temperature water. And what they did in this experiment is they asked a volunteer to come up to the room. A teacher asked somebody to come up, and they asked them to put one hand in the ice cold water and one hand in the super hot water. And they asked you to sit there for a little bit of time till it got really uncomfortable. And then they asked you to remove your hands. Then they asked you to put both hands into the middle bucket, the room temperature water. Well, a strange thing happened. The hand that had been in the ice cold water, the room temperature water felt warm too. But the hand that had been in the hot water, the room temperature water felt cool. You see, what that teaches us is that we experience things by what we've experienced first. So the order in which we place the words that we're doing, the things in our sales pitch, the requests that we're making, in our brain, we're always asking compared to what? Just like that experiment where the same bucket of water, because you're constantly looking down saying, are my hands in the same bucket? Because it's such a different experience. So compared to what? So when you're doing your sales pitches, when you're doing your introductions at meetings, so many times we have to go around and introduce ourselves. And let me tell you, there's a fine line between bragging and making an impactful, rememberable, being rememberable to the person that you're talking to. So you want to make sure that you're including things that are answering the question, compared to what? I guarantee you that if you can harness this little piece of information and answer compared to what, it will change your ability to be remembered, to be liked, and to close more sales. So if you like what you're hearing me talk about today, I have a gift for you. I want to gift you more of this information. It's my desire for you to be as successful as you possibly can be. So I want to gift you a copy of my USA Today and best-selling book, Power Up, Power Down, How to Claim Control of Every Situation and Make it a Win-Win. This book is a guidebook to harnessing interpersonal power and dynamics in every situation you encounter, both professionally, and they can even be used in your personal life. I want to give you some training and a video on how to be liked by everybody. And then the last thing is we're going to do a 3-day challenge. So the first day, we're going to talk about things about the words that we use, things like how to set up the words so that they are compared to what, and answer that in people's minds. Well, how to choose them, how to tell the story of what you're giving and what you're offering so you can close more sales and make more deals and make more money. Then day 2, we're going to talk about our body language. You see, because 97% of what we say with nonverbal communication. So if we're communicating something with our words and our body is saying something completely different, then our body is calling our mouth liar. And something happens in the brain of the other person. They pick up on it. And you're not rememberable, you're not likable, and they won't come back to you for business. And then the third day of this 3-day challenge, I'm going to talk to you and share with you how to harness your own personal power in every interaction and how to make it a win-win. You see, there's so many components, but they're simple and they're based in research and science, and they can be learned, they can be taught, and you can learn them and you can apply them. And they're easy. They're simple and they're easy to apply. So go to gailgift.com, GAILGIFT.com. Would somebody put that in the chat? Oh, thank you. Somebody's putting it in the chat. I can put it in the chat. Thank you so much for doing that. We are asking a $1 processing fee to actually give you this gift. It's worth $997, but I want you to be successful. I want you to be contacting me, telling me your success stories, because you have made yourself likable. You're choosing the right words. You're answering the questions in the other people's minds, and you're using science and research to close more deals and make more money. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, friends help friends succeed.